Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. I'm in the book. We about to close the book out. We almost done. I'm walking up to the judgment scene in the end of the book. I love that. I got to get you there, so I'm excited. So let's get this party started. I got a nice lesson for you. A couple of pages, so get ready. Let's rock. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right Thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows not. The person who knows, and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. Why? I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and to my yacht be true. We roll and we get to the end of the book. Let's go with right thinking. Let's talk about meditation and enlightenment according to the Egyptian book of coming forth by day. That was the equivalent to our Bible, basic instruction before leaving earth. That's what I'm giving you because I'm taking you right into judgment day, and these are things that you need to know when you go to be judged. What you should be doing, what you should be prepared for when that happens, because it's going to happen. Dr. Clark, no exceptions. But they had a plan. I'm just laying it out for you. And guess what? It worked for thousands of years. Not a few. Thousands. All right, let's go. But right quick, I want to get this. I forgot this lesson. My last one, I gave you the concentration on the breathing. I gave you the breathing technique. I forgot this last paragraph, so I'm going to throw this in here to start this lesson off. It's from the concentration and meditation tips. It's giving you tips on what the meditating practices are. I'm going to get to the fluff and get to the last part. When you're ready to try and focus your mind on one object, symbol, or an idea, that's concentration, focusing the mind. That's what last lesson was about. And if you focus in such an idea on your ab, which is your heart, or hotep, which is supreme peace of mind, when you have those things on focus, if the mind strays, bring it back. Bring it back to that thought. Stay with that thought. Bring it back gently, not abruptly, no, gently. Why? Because patience, self-love, self-forgiveness, these are all lessons that we learn, we mastering, and tenacity are the keys here for yourself. Why? These are things that you got to exhibit for yourself. And gradually, now your mind will not drift anymore. You learn how to be focused. You done got it where it needs to be. I can go into meditative state whenever I choose, however I please. Simple as that. Oh, yeah, that's self-mastery. That's the difference. At one time, if you said something that set me off, I might not have wherewithal to control to not act out. Now, it don't bother me. I consider myself where nothing bothers me. That's the difference in self-mastery, all right? But that's what they're trying to get you. Right here, the tips. I'm going to get you to the next lesson in 1 second. But it's gradual. And understand, that means daily practice. It don't happen overnight. The mind will now not drift. I done got better at it. When I first started out, man, It wasn't easy, but nothing good is. But watch this. My mind stopped drifting toward thoughts of what? Objects of the world, people, things. Now it will move toward what? More subtle levels of consciousness until what? It reaches what? And communes. Who are you trying to commune with? The source of all the thoughts and objects, Netter, aka God. You have to find God within you. He's hiding, so to speak, but no, it's just you got to put some work in to find him. And some things you can do to get his attention. Righteous and virtuous living is what they call by Maya. Why? You'll see, this is the philosophy that will get you what? To commune with God through daily meditation, righteous living, all those things. And watch this. This is the desired positive self-improvement attitude of that you need to practice of all right thinkers and daily meditation. Why? Because it is from the Netter God that all inspiration, creativity, and artistic feelings of love comes from. God, Netter. God is love, right? The heart. Again, we had all that figured out. Now I'm seeing it. I'm looking at they was way ahead of us. Watch this about the physical body. They ain't got a clue. Watch this. They still discover stuff that we did thousands of years ago. That's my point with that. But when you meditate, it's because now you're talking to or you're getting a communion, not talking to, but telepathically communion with your higher self, and that's God. And it is the source of what we call Hotep. Mer is love. They say, I mer you. That means I love you. That's what Mer and Mary, but it's called Hotep is peace, Mer is love. Hotep, Mer, that means peace and love. Okay? If I start saying Mer to you, all right, it means love. Okay? But the ancients knew that. They lived it. They exuded it. They manifested it. Why? For love for each other, one another. All that was what they lived. They didn't just get like that on Sunday, like we do on Sunday morning. They get dressed up and go to church, act all prim and proper. What the hell you doing during the week? You gotta get like that to go to church? I know. I go to church to go to get a lesson. I ain't going there for no fashion show. Sorry, excuse me. But the concept of living righteous, that's all. As a group of people, we can't get that together to save our life. That's the difference right now and back then. Netter is the source of all things. God, when you hear Netter, our ancients, we didn't have a word for God. It meant the same thing that we use to God, so they're interchangeable. Netter and God means the same thing, okay? So Netter is what? Is who you really are. Right there. I can drop the pen. That's just a tip. That's just a concentration meditative tip. Now we're about to get into what? The meditation and the enlightenment that comes from it according to the Egyptian book of coming forth by day. By day means the afterlife. Pay attention. I'm trying to get you there. All right. In the Egyptian book of coming forth by day, back in the day, that was our Bible. Because it was what? Giving us basic instruction before leaving earth. They're preparing you. What's this? The process which leads to the state of what? You ready? Superconsciousness is described in the form of what? Separate utterances that contain within the various individual spells or chapters to be spoken by those who wish to fashion their hearts. The heart's mind. Conscious, conscience. This is what you should be listening to. And if this would do that, ooh, Nelly, they would land it out for you. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I got to calm myself down. But when you fashion your life after your heart's mind into what? Eternal forms, you're starting to live your spiritual life in the physical form. In chapter 1, the utterance from 18, verses 18 to 20, where you the initiate, this is what you're saying. I am one with Haru, higher self, on this day of clothing, opening the storehouses of washing the steel of heart, unbolting the door of concealed things in Rasta. Rasta like that, but it's spelled R-E-S-T-A-U. Okay, Rastu. I am one with Haru. This is what the initiates were saying in school of Egyptian mystical system. Watch this. In Masonic order, any occult order, you have to have, concept. And this was their concept. Now, I'm about to explain everything I just read. I'm trying to break it down for you. This is the beauty part. And see if it might not make sense to you when I read it, but see if it makes sense when I break it down. Okay? When they say, I am Haru on this day, the day of clothing refers to receiving one's what? Glorious spiritual body. You became one. You became enlightened. Watch this. That's the first part. Now, opening the storehouse of what? Washing the still heart. Opening the storehouse refers, now watch this, symbolically to the releasing of what? The stored up potential. That's you being your best self, realizing it within what? Yourself. And the idea of washing of the still heart. What did God tell you? Still yourself. Mean stop. Let the heart and the mind have a conversation. That's God talking to you or you talking to God. Whichever you want to look at it, it's the same thing. Flip it anywhere you want to go, but it's all good. But still heart, and it refers to the cleansing. What's the cleansing mean? Cleansing of the mind through what? Righteous and virtuous living, a.k.a. Maya. That's why she was so revered, because she was preparing you for the next life. You had an idea. Y'all call it heaven, but we call it the afterlife. Amente, another spot where the spirits go. Okay. Now, which leads, watch this. When you live a virtuous and righteous living, which is Maya, which what? Living Maya leads to mental peace. And through daily meditation, wherein now the heart and the mind is cleared of what? All subconscious impressions and passions, meaning the earthly desires and they got no place in the spot. Watch this. Your desires and your ignorant illusions, and even more important, your sexual energy is all now accumulated, supplemented, meaning I'm not wasting my semen. I'm not doing nothing stupid. Why? And now that brings on what? That accumulated, and to transform that into your spiritual energy. Spiritual energy is like you adding years to your life when you don't waste your spiritual, your energy, sexual energy, orgasm, your sperm. If it gives life when it go into somewhere else, what do you think you do if it stay in you? They had that concept a long time ago. Y'all call it abstinence and whatever, but they understood that. Okay, sublimation of your sexual energies. Control that thing between your damn legs. Excuse me. And when the endless stream of negative thoughts in the mind is controlled, right there. When you can stop the devil is the negative thoughts, the ego's thought. That's the devil. So whatever you want to call it, but when you can control that, you good. Now he can't tempt you. He can't swoon you. He can't fake you out. You got control over that situation when it comes to the mind. And what happens? And still, what that means, the unbolting of the door or of the concealed things, Rasta, that's the realm of Ra, God. Amun, the hidden one, occurs. This is the subconscious spirit world, where it's free of all ignorance, it's free of all nonsense, it's purity. The spirit world of who? God. Yeah, I'm about to run around this thing, but I'm like a preacher now, because I'm my little pulpit, I be freaking out. But because, just I hope you understand it, I'm giving it to you. God, within who? Us. God ain't out there. I've been saying it for the longest, but we should be way past that idea, okay? But the result of this daily practice, right, in philosophy, is to become, you are to become what? What I tell you, one with Haru, God. That's the real you. Excuse me, I get excited, okay? But here's the picture. Remember the phrase, narrow-minded? Okay, narrow-minded means you ain't thinking, objectively, you think subjectively. This is a picture of this is your mind. The top one is your narrow-minded mind. The bottom one is a clear mind, a right-thinking mind. That's the goal. That's the idea. I got a little lesson here for you to break down. I like to show the picture, so now I'm trying to put the lesson to the picture. They did that for a reason. I showed you the transcendental self, always the dot, that represented God. And as this narrow-minded, the little trend, is because your ego mind, your ego self, your thoughts and your ideas are all illusionary, first of all, and due to your ignorance, you don't know that. So it's propelling you, controlling you. Your thinking of individuality are all blocking your true perception of what? Your higher self, your real self. You are your worst enemy. You blocking your own self, so to speak. And what's this? Now, the transcendental self, which is the lower one, I just gave you the top one, right? That's what. Watch the bottom one. Ain't that none of that, is it? Why? Because division is open to be what? Recognize things as they are, and it's called the ego mind self. The ego mind self, when cleansed, how you cleanse it? Through righteous and concentration or other spiritual disciplines. Right thinking philosophy lays it out for you. Now, consciousness is expanded. That's the whole idea. Expand your consciousness. The narrow mind ain't seeing what's all there. Only can see what's in front of it. Expand it out a little bit. That's called the third eye opening again. But it's the ego mind self becoming conscious what? Of its true self, your higher self. That's Haru. And your conscious expands, allowing what? The perception, there you go, of all-encompassing transcendental self, your real true self, as well as the limited ego reality. I'm comfortable knowing just what I need to know in the physical world, but I'm more comfortable in that world also. Spirit made matter. Matter got to come back. Matter got to turn itself back into spirit. That's self-knowledge. That's become aware of who you are. Know thyself. Okay, become one with God. That's can make it easier. Now get back over here to the lesson. Where we at? Now, on chapter 21, you the inmate, you please that what? Your mouth, aka your memory or consciousness, has been restored. I tell you, knowing thyself and remembering, we spirit know who it is. It just had to be reminded, so to speak, woken up. It's asleep, okay, conceptually. That's what it said, wake up, become awakened. But I just said, hail to you, Lord of light, a little bit light. May you restore, right this, may you restore my mouth. The opening of the mouth ceremony, when you go before Mayat, no, your heart speaks for you. So opening the mouth is when you get done. Now you got to be able to speak for yourself. And this is the concept. Open my mouth, my memory, and watch this. And may my heart, mind, assist me. When? At the time of destroying the light of ignorance. Your heart will stomp out. But if your third eye will disintegrate, Uranus, it spits what? Fire 6 feet. So it's going to keep ignorance away. It can't stand it. So that's why they have arch enemies. Apophis represents ignorance. Ra represents light. Those are true. And what's that? Night and day. They both share. Why? Because night going to get interrupted by day. And then once day have his way, night's going to take back over. So it's an ongoing cycle. That's why God is represented by the circle. It no beginning, no ending. But we live it in the phrase we call time. Eternity has no time. Immortality has no time. We're here to do that, as our time here ain't but a blip for eternity. Why? How long is eternity? Get the concept? Hopefully you do. But it's all mental. The mental and spirit, that's how it get done. If you just all spiritual and no mental, then you ain't got nothing going. You got a bunch of jibber jabber going on. When you manifest what you think and what you believe, that's how you know it works. It's true. It's true to you. Why? You manifesting it. My belief, my thoughts don't mean nothing to nobody but me. But I'm moving on. Now in chapter 23, the utterance. 6, the initiate, you're describing his or her, what? The resolve in seeking liberation. You're in bondage with ignorance. You want to free yourself with knowledge. Of who? Self. Not a whole bunch of knowledge. No, self-knowledge. That's freeing yourself from the bondage that you suffer. Everything else you can take care of. Find the kingdom inside yourself first. Know thyself. And you liberate yourself from what they call the pool of double fire. What the hell is that? World physically, the physical existence and the state of duality. Remember, the first thing I did was create duality. Okay? Spirit and matter becoming one. He represents both of them. After him, he put Mayat. That's what she represents. Now, watch this. Through the force of will, you manifest in the ability to accomplish what? The wish of who? Thy heart. You fulfill this, you good. You fulfill that, not so much. Why? That's the ego. The ego runs that. God runs this. And if you put this with that, you connection to God. That's the marriage, the heart-mind coherence. When they both working together, you good to go. When your heart wants one thing and the mind wants something else, you're confused. That's I call it the moral war. The youth initiate now have what? Quenched the heart, which was agitated with what? Desires of the flesh, passions, etc. Okay, ignorance. Now, from involvement with the world of duality. That's the ego, okay? But through force of, again, that will, that inner push, that fight that's in the dog that's in the fight, the fight that's in the dog, their force of will and a what? Discipline, mind and heart. When they are in harmony, you are a perfect human being. You're going to do what's right. You're going to act what's right. Why? That's how you are. That's what it means, okay? If you're a Christian, that means you're a good Christian. You're Muslim, you're a good Muslim. That's all it means. I'm a right thinker. I'm just a good right thinker. Same thing. Moving on. But you now, the initiate, directs him or her what? Directed him or her to identification with who? Asar. Watch this. Physically manifests of the what? Nameless God, and thus become one with that being who is what? Who is at the top of the steps. I got that lesson coming for you too. When you see the eye at the top of the pyramid, here, it's the eye Haru. That's what you want to do. Get to the top of the pyramid and what? Unite with Haru. Asar, your father, from which you come. You work your way back to your father. That's the concept. We all want to get back to heaven. Everybody, yeah. But we started that concept. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Let me wrap it up. I see where we at. Where am I right here? I should be down to, okay, hey, watch this. Here's a phrase from the Egyptian proverbs. I am Asar, Lord of the Rasta. I, which speaks of the initiate now, share with that being who is at what? The top of the steps, my father, due to the what? The wishes of what? Thy heart. I have come here from the pool of the double fire, physical word, earth. I have quenched these fires within myself. I conquered my ego self, okay? In chapter 97, you the initiate, you seek to what? Attain a frame of mind, a concept of what? Equanimity. That means using both sides of your brain. You got two for a reason. We can function using one side. Most people do that. Equanimity is using both sides. That's what that means. Definition on page 160, we did that already, in which will prepare him or her, you, to now plunge where? Into that divine pool, aka heaven. Feel the reeds, Amenta, whatever you want to call, we know the afterlife to be in your mind, whatever you conceive it, that's fine. But heaven and earth, why? To unite them within what? Yourself. You bring the heaven to earth. You take earth back to heaven, so to speak. As above, so below. We built pyramids to mimic what they saw in the sky. Been doing it for thousands of years. Y'all didn't figure that out yet? Come on, that was too easy. But that's they were using earth symbols to talk to the sky or mimic the sky, what they saw in the sky. Now, watch this. I'm at the end. Okay, almost done. Yeah, perfect. Where we at? Now, in chapter 97, you the initiate, you seeking to attain, okay, right there from the pool of life, okay, from the self. You find out that you are one with God. Now it says, may I purify in the lake of proportion and equal. Meaning I'm living and doing the things I need to do. Then let me, by doing this, let me plunge now into what? The divine pool. Beneath the two divine sycamores of heaven and earth. You got a tree in heaven, you got a tree on earth. You're going to go from the physical tree to the spiritual tree. Understanding both. That's knowledge of self. That's self-knowledge. And watch this. Here we go now. May I purify? Okay, it tells you right here in chapter 23. You, the initiate, you are assisted and affirmed that what? The bonds, the fetters that the ego caused in you, which were placed on your mouth by who? Set, your ego, your desires, your individuality, your selfishness, etc., has been what? Removed. Like a cancer. Got to eradicate it. Got to cut it out. Get rid of it. Why? It can't exist because it will destroy everything else. A bad apple in the bunch, get rid of it. Why? It'll spoil the whole bunch. It's better to get rid of one than have one mess up the whole bunch. Okay? Now, that part of your character has been removed. By who? Ptah, Tahuti, Atum, and Shu. All those are aspects of God, different qualities. Watch this. My mouth has been opened by Ptah. Tahuti, my wisdom, knowledge, comes with magic. And the fetters of Sep, which obstructed my mouth, has been destroyed. Everything they're telling you, I'm bypassing my ego. I'm conquering the ego self to get to my higher self. That's the only way to get there. Okay? Wrapping it up. Utterance, I got one more for you. Utterance of 26 utterance, chapter, verse 7 to 9. Once you, the initiate, once you know that you have gained power over what? Thy heart and mind. Now you are in control. And when they know thy heart, that's what you're saying. I know thy heart. The heart is God. Thyself is you. I know my heart and I are one now. That's the goal. And then they will not what? They will not lose what? Consciousness. They will not forget who they are. Why? Now they're conscious. They will not lose that. And as an ordinary person will what? At the time of death, because they're ignorant, they're scared, and they will suffer the fate what they with. Reincarnation. Why? They didn't do things they do what they needed to do while they was here. So they'll be back. Get a do-over. Now, at the time of death of this physical body, but watch this, but those who will retain the power to go on and out of the spirit according to the desires of their spirit, once you pass the feather of my eye, the judgment test, now you're going into the next level. And you can decide what and how you want to do it. That's what they're saying. But watch this. Now, also, as you, the initiate, you will no longer suffer through what? Reincarnation. But I thought life was a good thing. No, reincarnation is not a good thing. No. They didn't want to reincarnate. Okay? Why? That was a bad thing. I come back and do it over again. But watch this. But we'll live on in what they call the Baka, B-K-A. It should be Baka, but they put them both together. You know, we do ebonics. Baka. But the Baka is your spirit and soul. I thought the same thing. No. Soul, the intangible part, that's you, that's the Ba. The Ka is the physical part concerning the spirit part. But watch this. And it tells you, it explains to you real simple. Your Ba has the bird with the head on it, which should be your head. That's you. That's your spirit. Become conscious. The Ka is the man said touchdown. Remember the referee touchdown? The Ka, when it's all said and done, you get the pass by getting what? The free pass by touching down where? In this physical world to the spiritual world when it's all said and done. Watch this. Now, from an initiate, which you are, as well as now an established enlightened being in the spirit, rather than just a body conscious, just as me, egoistic ignorance of your spiritual self. You're more than a physical body. Okay. Watch this. We wrap it up with this right here. This is closing out. I know my heart. I love that because I know what it means. I have achieved power over it. Put the work in. I have achieved the power to do what pleases my Ka. I'm taking care of God. I'm spiritually disciplined. I'm God conscious. That's the Ka. Okay. Now my Ka, which is my spirit, gives us life. That's God. I will remain what? Aware. I will not lose consciousness of God. I'm going to constantly be doing this. Watch this. I will remain aware of my ab, a.k.a. my heart consciousness of who I am. My Ba, soul, will not be fettered. That means it's free. It's not controlled by the ego. It ain't got to worry about nothing. Or it's restrained at the entrance of the west. Meaning when death comes, we willingly go into the west. Why? We already got no problem with that. The beauty of dying with knowledge of self, you don't die. You just go on into the West. And I will be able to, watch this, come and go as I please. In the spirit realm, once you become spirit, you got to come and go as you please. That's what they're saying. That's the concept. Hope you got the message. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure enjoyed giving it. But I'll be right back with some more. I see the clock. I limit time, so it's all good. In the closing, right thinkers, may y'all let it be 100. Me, 100 minus a day, so I never let my right thinkers have passed away. We about to close the book out. I'll be right back.